CFR Title 49, Chapter 2, Volume Chapter 2, Part 2223, Safety Glazing Standard Locomotive Passenger Car and Cabooses. Subpart A, General 223.1, Scope 223.3, Application 223.5, Definition 223, Responsibility. Subpart B, 223.8, Additional Requirements of Passenger Equipment. 223.9, Requirements for the new or rebuild equipment. 223.11, Requirements existing locomotives. 223.13, Requirements existing cabooses. 223.15, Requirements existing passenger cars. 223.17, Identification of equipment locomotives and passenger cars, cabooses. Appendix A to Part 223, Certification of glazing materials. Appendix B, Part 223, Schedule of Civil Penalties Authority. Title 49, U.S. General Code 2102, 2103, 2133, 2701, 2702, 21301 to 21302, 21304, Title 28 U.S. Standard Code 2461, Note, Title 49 CFR 149, Subpart A. General 223.1 Scope. This part provides minimum requirements of the glazing material in order to protect the railroad employees and railroad passengers from injury or result of the object striking the windows of the locomotive, the cabooses, and passenger car. 23. Application. This part applies to the railroad, the operating of the railway equipment, and same for the gauge of the track as part of the general railroad system of the transportation. This part does not apply to locomotive, cabooses, passenger cars that operate only on the track inside the installation. That is no part of the general railroad system of the transportation. Rapid transit operations urban area that are not connected with the general railroad system of the transportation locomotive. The 3, the passenger locomotive, passenger car, the caboose, for the historical antiquated equipment that are used only for the excursion, educational, recreational purposes of the private transportation purposes. 4, locomotives that are used exclusively in designated services are defined in Statute 223.5M. Title 44, Federal Register 77352, December 31st, 1979, as amended with the Title 53, Federal Registry 28600, July 28, 1988. Definitions. As used in this part, the administrator means for the administrator of the Federal Railroad Administration for the administrator of the delegate. Caboose means for the car of the freight train intended to provide the transportation of the crew members. Certified glazing means for the glazing of material that has been certified by the manufacturer having met with the testing requirements of the set forth in Appendix A for this part that has been installed in such a manner that it will perform the intended function. Designated service means exclusive operation for the locomotive under the following conditions. 1, the locomotive is not used as an independent unit with the controlling unit that is consistent with the locomotives except for the moving of the purpose for the servicing of the repair within the single yard area. 2, the locomotive is not occupied with the operating of the deadhead crews outside of the single yard area, and the locomotive is ostensible with the designated service do not occupy. Emergency windows mean for the segment with the side facing with the glazed panel that has been designated to permit the rapid, easily removable inside with the passenger car of the emergency situation. In-face glazing location means any of the location where the line perpendicular with the plane of the glazing material makes a horizontal angle of 50 degrees or less with the center line of the locomotive with the caboose and passenger car, or any of the location with the view of the curvature of the glazing material can meet with the criteria for the either or front-facing location, but the side-facing location shall be considered with the front-facing location. The FRA means the Federal Railroad Administration locomotive that means the self-propelled unit of equipment designed primarily for the moving other than equipment does not include the self-propelled passenger car. The locomotive cab means for the portion of the superstructure designated to occupy with the crew while operating with the locomotive. Passenger cars means a unit of rail or rolling equipment intended to provide the transportation for the members of the general public, includes the self-propelled cars designated to carry the baggage, mail, and express from the passenger or passengers. The term includes the passenger coach, cab car with the multiple unit locomotive. The term does not apply include the private car. Person includes all categories into any is covered under Title 1 U.S. Standard Code 1, including but not limited to the railroad, any manager, supervisor, official, or other employee, agent of the railroad, any owner, manufacturer, leaser or lesser, the railroad equipment, track facility, any of the passenger, any of the transportation, non-transportation, independent with the contractor providing with the goods and services of the railroad, any employee of such owner of the manufacturer, leaser, or lesser of the independent contract. The railroad means any form of non-highway ground transportation that runs on the rail's electromagnetic guidelines, including 1, commuters other than the short-haul railway passenger trains in the metropolitan suburban area with the commuter railroad service that was operated with the Consolidated Railway Corporation in January 1st, 1979. 2, high-speed ground transportation systems connecting the metropolitan area with regard to whether those systems with the new technologies are not associated with the traditional railroads but does not include the rapid transit operations for the urban area that are not connected with the general railroad system and transportation. And And two, the person that provides the transportation with it directly or by the contracting out of the operation of the railroad to another person. Railroad locomotive with the caboose and passenger meet with the locomotive with the caboose and passenger train undergoing the overhaul, which has identified with the railroad a capital expense under the Surface Transportation Board accounting standards. Side-facing glazed location means that any location with a line perpendicular with the plane glazing material marks the angle with more than 50 degrees with the center line of the locomotive with the caboose and the passenger car's windshield, meaning with the combination of the individual unit of the glazing material with the locomotive, the passenger car, or the caboose with the position end of the facing glazing location. Alright, yard is a system of auxiliary track with exclusively with the classification passenger with the freight cars according with the commodity destination, assembling with the cars on the train movement with the storage of the cars and repair of the equipment. Yard cabooses means for the caboose. This is used exclusively in single yard area. Yard locomotive means the locomotive that is operated only to perform switching functions within a single yard area. Title 63 Federal Register 24655, May 4th, 1998. Title 63 FR 36376, July 6, 1998 is amended with the Title 73 for the FR 6399, February 1st, 2008. Alright, 223.7, responsibility. Any person with any of the type of the covered in Title 1 U.S. Standard Code 1, including but is not limited to the following: the railroad manager, supervisor, official with the other employee with the agent of the railroad, any with the owner and the manufacturer, leaser, or lessor with the railroad equipment, with the tracker, or the facilities independent with the contracting provided with the goods and services with the railroad, any employee with such owner, manufacturer, leaser, and lessor, and the independent contractor who violates any of the requirement of the part of the cause of the violation of any of such requirements subject to the civil penalty at least $650, no more than $25,000 per violation, except for the penalties may be assessed against individuals only for the willful violations where a glossary, negligent violation pretending with a repeated violation that is created with the imminent hazards of death and injury to the person that has caused death and injury with the penalty not exceeding $105,000 per violation may be assessed. Each day a violation continues shall consist of the separate offense see Appendix B with the part of the state of the agency civil penalty policies. Alright, subpart B, specific requirements. Title 223.8, additional requirements for the passenger equipment. Addition with the requirement contained with this department, the requirement the emergency window that exists with the window of the safety glazing with the passenger equipment is defined in Statute 238, 5 of the chapter, are also found in Part 238 of this chapter. 223.9, requirement that the new and the rebuilt equipment locomotives, including yard locomotives built and rebuilt after June 30th, 1980, must be equipped with the certified glazing of all locomotives with the cab windows. Cabooses, including yard and cabooses built and rebuilt with after June 30th, 1980, must be equipped with the certified glazing of all the windows. Passenger cars, including the self-propelled passenger cars built and rebuilt after June 30th, 1980, must be equipped with the certified glazing in all the windows, and they have at least 4 emergency windows. Statute 223.11, requirements of existing locomotives other than the railroad locomotives rebuilt with the prior with the July 1st, 1980, with which were equipped with the forward and rearward facing glazing location for the locomotive cab with windshield glazing material for the meets of the criteria for each of the portion impact testing required with the type of the one tested under the provisions of the appendix A of this part will not require the installation of certified glazing for the windshield location except for the replacing the windshield glazing of the material for the broken and damaged locomotives other than yard locomotives built or rebuilt prior to July 1st, 1980, which are equipped with all the locomotives with cab and side facing glazing location with the glazing material with the meets of the criteria for the either of the portion of the impact testing required for the type 2 testing under the provisions of appendix A with this part subpart of this part with the not required for the installation of certified glazing with the side facing glazing location except for the replacing with the side facing glazing material with the broken damage. Except for the yard locomotives and locomotives equipped with the description of the paragraph A and B with the section locomotive with the built and rebuilt with the prior to July 1st, 1980 shall be equipped with the certified glazing and all locomotive cab with windows June 30th, 1984. Each locomotive subject for the provision in paragraph C of the section which will result in an act of the vandalism has the locomotive with the cab with the window with the broken and damaged so that its window fails as a permanent visibility shall be placed in designated surface within 48 hours of the time of the breakage of the damage shall be removed from the surface until the equipped with the certified glazing of the following manner. If the broken damaged window with the part with the windshield locomotive with the cab at all the forward, rearward, and facing glazing location of the locomotive with the cab must be replaced with the certified glazing. If the broken damaged window with the part with the side facing window with the locomotive with the cab, all of the side facing glazing location of the locomotive with the cab must be replaced with the certified glazing. 223.13. Requirements for the existing cabooses. The cabooses other than the yard cabooses that were built or rebuilt prior to July 1st, 1980, which are equipped with the forward, the rearward, and phase and glazing location over the windshield with the glazing material that meets with the criteria, either the portion of the impact testing required with the Type 1 test under the provision of the Appendix A, but the part but the will not require the installation certified with the glazing windshield location except the replace with the windshield glazing of the material that has run broken and damaged the caboose of the other than the yard caboose built or rebuilt with the prior July 1st, 1980, but which are equipped with the all siding face and glazing location with the glazing material that meets with the criteria, either the portion of impact testing that required for the Type 2 testing under the provisions of the Appendix A, but this part that will not require for the installation certified glazing in the side-facing glazing location except for the replace for the side-facing glazing material that is broken or damaged. Except for the yard caboose with the cabooses equipped with the described in the paragraph A and B with the cabooses built and the rebuilt with the prior to July 1st, 1980 shall be equipped with the certified glazing in all the windows after the July 30th, 1984, each of the caboose subject to the provision of the paragraph C with the section which was rebuilt result of an act of vandalism with the window has been broken or damaged so that the window fails to permit the good visibility shall be equipped with the certified glazing in the following manner. If the broken window is part of the window shield all the forward of the rearward facing glazing location once by replacing certified glazing within 30 days of the date of the breakage of the damage. If the broken window is part of the side-facing window, all of the side-facing glaze location must be replaced with the certified glazing within 30 days of the date of the breakage. The Statute 223.15 requirements existing passenger car. Passenger cars built and rebuilt prior to July 1st, 1980, which are equipped with the forward of rearward facing glazing location for the windshield with the glazing material that meets with the criteria for either the portion impact testing required for the Type 1 test under the provision of Appendix A, but the part that will not require the installation certified glazing in the windshield location, except to replace the windshield glazing material with the broken and damaged. Passenger cars rebuilt with the prior to July 1st, 1980, which are equipped with the side-facing glazing location glazing material with the meets with the requirement of criteria for either the portion of the impact testing required for the Type 2 test under the provision of Appendix A, but this part will not require the installation certified with the glazing except with the replacing side-facing glazing material with the is broken or damaged. Except for the passenger cars described in paragraph A and B, but the passengers built with the rebuilt with the prior to July 1st, 1980 shall be equipped with the certified glazing in all windows of the minimum of 4 emergency and windows after July 30th, 1984. And each passenger subject to the provision in paragraph C with the section with the result of the act of vandalism window with the broken damage the window failed with the permit the good visibility shall be equipped with the certified glazing with the following manner. When a broken window is part of the windshield, all of the forward and rearward end of the facing glazing location shall be replaced with the certified glazing within 30 days of the breakage. When the broken window is part of the side-facing glazing and the glazing in the individual side-facing glazing location shall be replaced with the certified glazing within 30 days of the day of breakage. Statute 223.17. Identification equipped with the locomotive of the passenger car with the caboose. Each locomotive with the passenger car with the caboose that fully equipped with the glazing material that means the requirements for this part shall be stenciled on the interior wall as follows. The fully equipped with the FRA Part 223 glazing for the similar words conveying the meaning of the letters with at least 3 inches of it high. Appendix A with the Part 223 certification for the glazing material. As provided with the part with the certified glazing for the material installed with the locomotive passenger cars or cabooses must be certified with the glazing of the manufacturer in accordance with the following procedure. For the general requirements to each manufacturer to provide with the glazing material and tip with the manufacturer used to achieve the compliance with the requirements for this part shall certify each type of the glazing material being supplied with the purpose of successfully tested within accordance with Appendix and the test verification data is available to the railroad for the to the FRA upon request. The test verification data shall contain all permanent original data log, the documentation for the selection of the material sample, the test and setup of the test measuring device for the test procedure performed with the qualified personnel used for the recognized with acceptable practices according with the Appendix B, the test requirements. Materials made competitive with the target material shall be fully scale sampled with a large dimension and intent with the produced and installed with the target material shall be representative of the production material that shall be selected with the documented random choice base for the target material shall be securely with rigidly attached with the fixture so that the fixture's own characteristics will not induce test errors. The target material is so selected with the attached shall constitute with the test specimen. The test specimen will then be equipped with a witness plate with that shall be mounted parallel to view and at the distance of 6 inches back of the target material. The witness plate shall have at least an area of which will cover the full map of the target material. The witness plate shall be on the back of the back sheet with a minimum of thickness of 6 thousandths of an inch, allowing alloy of 1100 temper 0 aluminum stretched with the perimeter of the suitable frame to provide with the top surface of the test specimen will position so that the defined projectile impact at an angle of 90 degrees of the test specimen surface. The point of an impact defined with the projectile will be within a radius of 3 inches of the centroid of the target material. The velocity screen with the other suitable velocity measuring devices will be positioned so that the measure of the impact velocity with the defined projectile with 10% accuracy with the tolerance with the test modification made to guarantee the stipulated minimum of the velocity requirements are met. 10. The test specimen glazing material with the intent at the end of the face glazing location shall be subject to the test 1 regimen consisting of the following testing. That's 1. Ballistic impact is in which standard 22 caliber long rifle lead bullet or 40 grains in the weight of the impacts of the minimum of 960 feet per second velocity. 2. Large object impact from which the cinder block of the 24 pound of the minimum weight of the dimension with an 8 inch by 8 inch by 12 inch nominally impact for the corner of the block of the minimum of 44 feet per second velocity. The cinder block must be composition reference with American Society Testing Material Specification C33L and ASTM C90. The test specimen glazing material that is intended usually only on the side facing glazing location shall be subject to the type 2 test regimen consisting of the following tests. Ballistic impact in which with the standard 22 caliber long rifle lead bullet of 40 grains in the weight of the impact with a minimum of 960 feet per second velocity. Large object impact in which the center of the block with the 24 pounds of the minimum weight of the dimension with an 8 inch by 8 inch by 12 inch nominal impact with the corner of the block and minimum of 12 feet per second velocity. The center block must be so that the composition reference in the ASTM C33L and ASTM C90. The 3 different test specimens must be subject to the ballistic impact portion of these tests. Alright, 2 different test specimens must be subject to large object the impact of the portion of the test. The material test must be performed so that 1. There should be no penetration for the back surface of the side closet with the witness plate with the target material with the projectile. The threshold penetration for the impact with the front surface of the target material does not constitute the failure. There should be no penetration for the particle for the backside of the target material through the backside of the prescribed witness plate. The test and the specimen must be consecutively required number of the tests and required for the minimum velocity individual testing requires resulting in failure for the greater than the required minimum velocity may be repeated with the failure of the individual test. The lesser than minimum velocity shall result in the termination total test for the failure of the material. After successful completion of the prescribed site with the record with the consecutive test, the manufacturer may certify with the writing of the particular glazing materials meets with the requirements of the standard of the material identification. Each identification unit of the glazing material permanently marked with the prior to the installation to indicate the type of the material that has been successfully tested and set forth the appendix of that marking shall be done in such a manner that it is clearly visible when the material has been installed. Each individual unit of the glazing material has successfully passed the Type 1 testing regimen shall be marked with the indicated FRA Type 1 material. 2. The manufacturer of the material. 3. The type of the brand and identification of the material. 3. The individual unit of the glazing material that has successfully passed the Type 2 test regimen shall be marked and indicated with the FRA Type 2 material. Manufacturer of the material and the type of the brand and identification of the material. Appendix B of the Part 223 schedule of the civil penalties. 223.9 new and rebuilt in the locomotives. 2500 violation, willful violation 5,000. Caboose 2500 willful violation 5,000. Passenger car 2500 violation, willful violation 5,000. 2311 C existing locomotives 2500 5,000. Repair of the window 1,000 2,000. 2313 existing caboose 2500 violation willful 5,000. Repair of the window 1,000 violations willful violation 2,000. 2315 C existing passenger car 2500 violation willful violation 5,000. Repair of the window 1,000 willful violation 2,000. 22317 identification of the units 1,000 violation 2,000 willful violation. A penalty may be assigned against for the individual only with the willful violation. Administrative reserve the right of the reassess for the penalty up to $105,000 if any of the violation circumstances warrant the C Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 21301, 21304, and Title 49 CFR Part 209 Appendix A. With the more of the one item is listed above the type of the violation given in the section. Each item also designated by the penalty code, which is also used to facilitate and respond to any of the subsection designation for the convenience of the penalty situation site with the CFR section of the penalty code with the FR reserved for the right with the show of litigation become the necessary substitute for the complainant with the CFR citation with the play for the combined CFR penalty for the code citation if they differ. And that was part 223.